out because I know Theo has had conversations before, like even publicly. He had a Netflix taping, and it didn't go well. It was like they actually they shelved it. They never used it. And there was all these stories from people that were there saying he bombed. I think he just had a kind of a breakdown. And when he was talking to the crowd, and there's a video of it where he said, the people were shaking, hey, we still love you. He goes, thank you. Look, I'm trying not to take my own life. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah.
And like you hear stuff like that, and you just go like, oh, Jesus Christ. I've known too many people that I didn't think were going to kill themselves and then did. And then he goes down these spirals where he starts talking about world events and freaking out. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I got to help this dude. And so I send him things about people getting off of them, and apparently there's some doctors that specialize in getting people off of them. But here's the thing about that chemical imbalance thing. That's not real. They used to think that was what these things do, that they treated a chemical imbalance. But then recently, studies have shown that that is not what they do. They don't exactly know what they do. And they kind of numb you in some sort of a way that helps some people. And I've had some friends, and I don't want to make any blanket statements, because I've had some friends that were suicidal. Ari's one of them, and he got on SSRIs, and it helped him. He tried a bunch of different ones, found one that worked, got on track, and then his career started taking off. And then as his career started taking off, he started feeling much better. He was on a good, positive path in his life. And then he slowly weaned himself off of those, and now he's off of them. So I think that might have saved his life. I also know other people that have been on those things and taken their own lives. So I don't know, because that's part of one of the side effects is suicidal ideation. Mm-hmm. It's one of the side effects. But see if you can find anything about the chemical imbalance not being true. The chemical imbalance reason for taking SSRIs. They've measured like levels of dopamine and serotonin in people that take. That's not what it's doing. And they don't even exactly know why it works. And it's a huge business. That's part of the problem. And it's also part of the problem that these doctors are incentivized to prescribe people these things. I had a friend that went to a psychiatrist and was talking about their life and things not doing well. And immediately the doctor tried to prescribe him SSRIs. Mm-hmm. Right away. Like right away. Here's something that you're never going to get off. I'm going to give it to you right away. First meeting. And he was like, well, shouldn't I like try exercise? Shouldn't I try diet? Shouldn't I try just drinking water? And, I read something about like magnesium and red light therapy being far more effective than even SSRIs. There is no good evidence for the simple chemical imbalance like low serotonin that directly causes depression or automatically means someone should take an SSRI. But SSRIs do change brain chemistry in ways that can help some people. But so for decades, depression was popularly explained as a serotonin imbalance in the brain. Large reviews of the research have not found convincing evidence that people with depression have consistently low serotonin or a specific measurable imbalance that explains their symptoms. Experts now describe the chemical imbalance story as an oversimplified or outdated way of explaining a much more complex condition. And here's the other thing about depression. It has to be connected to the state of your life. Like if you have a terrible job, you're in a bad relationship, you have abusive parents, and you live in a shitty neighborhood. Why would you be happy? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm depressed. Oh, you need a pill. No, do you? Is that what you need?
Right.
Well, it's quite possible that you're eating processed foods and you have all these other things that we talked about, shitty life, shitty house, shitty job, shitty neighborhood, shitty parents. Maybe you just need to make your life positive, like figure out a way to get your life in a positive direction. They've shown that exercise is way more effective than antidepressants at actually helping people with depression.
Sure.
Just exercise. Just fucking go on a nice long walk every day. Do some cardio. You know, take a fucking yoga class. That's way better for people than these goddamn pills. But these doctors are financially incentivized to prescribe these things, and they prescribe them and hand them out like candy. And again, I think for some people it helps them.
And that's the issue.
Joe Rogan is concerned for Theo Von after he bombed on his Netflix special, and according to Joe Rogan, they shelved it. Now, Theo Von has responded to this on X. I still like to call it Twitter, but it's X. And he puts, "This is mostly cap." Why is Theo? Whatever. "This is mostly cap. Sad to see this kind of stuff. I'm doing great. I'm a human being, which is a rocky ride, but I'm doing fine. Thanks." Great response. Now, Joe Rogan had on Theo Von afterwards, and obviously he's still concerned because, like, I would assume he texts Theo and talks to him behind the scenes and stuff. That whole situation was weird because you have to remember, Theo had bombed a couple of months before that at a USO show. But, I mean, Theo must have really bombed on this special to where they had to shelve it and everything. Because I thought Theo said they were going to reshoot it and still release it, but I guess not. It got completely shelved. But Theo is still doing stand up, so I would assume it's still the same material that's being used. So he must have really, really tanked on this special. But after that had happened, a lot of people did say they were concerned for Theo, including like Bobby Lee and everybody else. But I had just, and Theo's reasoning for what he was going through was that ICE had put out that video using him in their commercial, and it was right around the Charlie Kirk thing, and he specifically brought up the Charlie Kirk thing, and that he was afraid for his safety because ICE used that video, and that he wasn't really like endorsing ICE or anything. And then Bobby Lee recently went on Theo Von's thing because Theo disagrees with Joe Rogan on some stuff politically, and Bobby was like, "I agree with you, Theo," and Theo just tried changing the subject for whatever reason. But I mean, the fact remains, Joe Rogan says he's still concerned with Theo and everything. Or is Joe Rogan concerned with Theo because Theo disagrees with him on some political stuff? But like I said, I don't know what Theo be taking or what he's on or anything. So, but Joe, you would think would know him a lot better. I don't know. And all I know is Chavez said, Theo is still going through stuff, but you know, she's still figuring things out, I guess. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.